Okay, welcome to the part 2 of our week 6 discussion. So for now, we will discuss about sample size for known and unknown populations. Okay, and we have 5 steps in solving for the sample size. So first, define your population size or number of people. Second, designate your margin of error. Number 3, determine your confidence level. Number 4, predict expected variance. And number 5, finalize your sample size. So let's proceed with step number 1. Your sample size needs will differ depending on the true population size or the total number of people you're looking to conclude on. That's why determining the minimum number of individuals required to represent your selection is an important first step. So again, no, kailangan alam natin kung ilan ba yung total number of population na meron tayo for our study. Kasi doon magbe-base, no, para makapag-decide tayo ilan ba yung sample na kakailanganin ko for my study. So hindi po tayo basta lang nagde-decide dito na gusto ko 50 lang yung sample size para madali, no? Gusto ko 100 lang yung sample size. So hindi po ganoon. Meron tayong process or way to solve for the sample size. For example, kasi meron tayong 2,000 na population. So kung magde-decide ka lang na 50 yung sample na kukunin nyo, so 50 must not be enough or 50 may not be enough to represent, no, the population. So what if millions na, no, yung population? So yung 50 or 100 is not enough to represent the whole population. So since ito yung magre-represent ng whole population, yung mga sample natin, so dapat enough, no, yung sample na kukuhanin natin. So that minimum lang ito, no, pero you can exceed from the minimum or kung minimum sample size na makukuha natin. So in research or any studies, kung mas marami yung sample na kukuhanin natin, mas maganda po. Okay? So step number 2, designate your margin of error. So margin of error is how much error you intend to permit. That's your margin of error. Sometimes it is called the confidence interval. A margin of error indicates how much you're willing for your sample mean to differ from your population mean. So it's often expressed alongside statistics as a plus-minus figure, indicating a range which you can be relatively certain about. So again, no, in any research or study, hindi natin maiwasan na merong bias or merong hindi rin natin maiwasan yung respondent, hindi natin alam na hindi talaga binasa yung survey form or basta na lang nagsagot ng ating survey form. So through that, dapat aware tayo, no, na nangyayari talaga yon in any research, no. So kaya po we need to designate a margin of error. Hanggang kailan ba or hanggang saan ba yung pwede nating i-permit for error? Okay? So, and tayo yung nagde-decide nung kung ilan yung magiging margin of error natin. Okay, so step 3, determine your confidence level. So your confidence level reveals how certain you can be that the true proportion of the total population would pick an answer with a particular range. So yung sa confidence level, ito yung kung gaano ka confident, no, on your sa data na meron ka na nakuha mo from your study. So kapag ipine-present nyo, no, yung inyong research or your study, so you can use 90, 95, 99%, no? And yung 3 percentages na to, ito yung common confidence level na ginagamit. Okay? But you can use other confidence level like 95, 93, 92, 98, and so on and so forth. Okay? But since nag-conduct tayo ng study, wag naman pong 50%, no, na confident yung confidence level mo. Yung so paano ka papaniwalaan, no, na pinagpe-presentan mo ng yung study if you as a researcher is not confident enough on your study. So again, you can use 90, 95, 99, 95 as your confidence level. So your confidence level corresponds to something called a Z-score. A Z-score is a value that indicates the placement of your raw score in any number of standard deviation below or above the population mean. So the Z-score of the most common confidence level intervals are, so dito po, no, since yung nabanggit na natin na yung we have 3 common na confidence level na ginagamit, ibinigay na po, no? Ibinigay na dito on our presentation yung kanilang Z-score. Okay? So kapag 90%, the Z-score is 1.65. If 95%, the Z-score is 1.96. And if 99%, the Z-score is 2.576. But ayan, no, tandaan na lang po itong tatlo kasi ito nga yung usual na ginagamit. But if ibang confidence level ang ginamit like 98, 98, 97, 92, 91, no? Meron po tayong way or we have a we can solve it manually or we can get the Z-score manually by using the formula. Ito po, no? We are going to use the formula 1 plus confidence level divided by 2. But before that, no, kailangan muna nating illustrate yung ating confidence level. So, yung confidence level natin, it must be starts from the mean. Hindi siya mag-i-start from the left tail and mag-e-end on the right side of our normal curve. So again, no, dapat ito ay on the middle of our mean. Since may yung ating margin of error, it could be positive or negative. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung negative margin of error natin. No? Ito naman yung positive margin of error natin. So, again po, no, it must start, yung confidence level natin starts from the mean dapat. Okay? So, kung 95% yung ating confidence level, yung both tails natin must be equal or yung sum ng both tails natin must be equal to 5%. So, para malaman, no, you can divide it by 2. Okay? So, yan po. Now, step 2, use the formula 1 plus confidence level divided by 2. So, our confidence level given here is 95%. So, that will be 0.95. 1 plus 0.95 is 2 and 1.95 divided by 2 is 0.975. Now, since yung Z value na nakuha natin is more than 0.5,000, i-divide natin to or isusubtract pala rather. Isusubtract natin by 0.5 or 0.5,000. So 0.945 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.475. So ito na yung Z value na titignan natin using our Z table. So yung 0.475 ay ito po. Then tignan lang natin ano yung corresponding Z-score niya. So that is equal to 1.9, then 0.6. Therefore, our Z-score is 1.96. So again, ito lang din yung process, no, kung iba man yung confidence level na ibigay sa atin. Okay? Now, step 4. Predict expected variance. The last thing you'll want to consider when calculating your sample size is the amount of variance you expect to see among participant responses. Standard deviation measures how much individual sample data points deviate from the average population. If you don't know how much variance to expect, you use the standard deviation of 0.5 to make sure your group is large enough. Okay, next, for number 5, finalize your sample size. So we have here 2 formulas. One is for known population and second is for unknown population. For known population, we use the formula Z squared times P times the quantity of 1 minus P over E squared all over 1 plus the quantity of Z squared times P times the quantity of 1 minus P all over E squared N or E squared raised to N. So ano ba yung mga variable na meron tayo dito? Yung capital letter N, that stands for population size. Z is for the Z-score. E is for margin of error. P is the standard deviation. That is the formula to be used for known population. And some instances, we don't know, no, yung population natin, hindi natin alam kung ilan ba yung population na meron tayo. So if the population is unknown, we can use the formula z squared times p times the quantity of 1 minus p all over e squared, where z is the z-score, e is the margin of error, and p is the standard deviation. Okay? Okay, so now let's proceed with an example. No? Example number 1, compute for the sample size needed in a research given with. So ito yung mga data na meron. No? So for number 1, the number of population is known. Okay? So known yung ating number of population, which is 2050. Margin of error is 3%. Confidence level is 90%. And standard deviation is 50%. So since ang kakailanganin natin na z-score, so yung z-score natin is manggagaling sa confidence level natin. So yung confidence level natin, since given is 90%, you can solve it manually or you can look on the given corresponding z-score ng 90%, which is yung z-score niya is 1.96. 1.65. Okay? So again, yung corresponding z-score nito is 1.65. So since the population is known, we will use the formula. We will use the formula z squared times p times the quantity of 1 minus p all over a squared, then over 1 plus the quantity of z squared times p multiplied by the quantity of 1 minus p over a squared times the population. So again, this formula is to be used for known population. So again, known na yung or given yung population natin, no? So let's substitute lang yung mga given na meron tayo. So this will become yung z is 1.65. Then squared lang natin times the p. P is the standard deviation. So yung 50% equivalent siya sa 0.5 or 0.50. Then multiply by, wait lang, multiply by, wait lang, 1 minus p. So 1 minus 0.5 over e squared natin, a stands for margin of error. So yung 3%, it is equivalent to 0.03. So 0.03 over, okay, over 1 plus z squared, which is 1.65 squared times p. Our p is 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5. Okay, divided by, we have e squared times n. E squared is 0.03 squared. Sorry, naka-square din to. E squared din to, no? Times our n is 2050. Okay, so again, you're going to input this on your calculator. Just make sure lang na correct yung pag-i-input natin. Tama lahat ng grouping symbols natin kasi once na magkamali po kayo ng grouping symbols diyan, kahit isa lang yung makulang, malaki yung tendency na mamali yung ma-read ng ating calculator. Okay? So if we are going to put it on our calculator, it will give us an answer of 553. Okay? And this is our sample size na kakailanganin natin for the population of 2050. Okay? Next naman, again, no, given yung ating population, but ang nabago lang dito is yung confidence level natin. Okay? So we know, no, given na yung 95%, its equivalency score is 1.96. You can solve it manually din naman to, no, but it is already given na. Okay? So ayun lang yung naiba. Okay? Now, since the population is known, the same formula yung gagamitin natin, isa-substitute lang natin yung ating mga given dito. So, C squared is 1.96 this time squared times 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5 all over E squared natin is 0.03 squared all over 1 plus Z squared 1.96 squared times 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5 divided by E squared times N. So 0.03 squared times N at 2050. So once you are done with this, no, you can input this on your calculator. Then this will give us a result of 702. Okay, respondents. So dito po you are going to round up, no? Kapag kumukuha tayo ng sample size, lagi po tayo magra-round up. Kahit po 0.1 lang, 0.05 yung ating decimal, magra-round off pa rin, round off pa rin po tayo. Okay, since person yung kinukuha natin dito or yung sample size or person nga, no? So ayan po. Always remember that we are going to round off, no? Kapag kumukuha tayo ng sample size. Round off, ha? Hindi round off. Okay? So next, dito naman, no? On our third example, no? The confidence level is 99% this time, but the other given data are the same. So it means unknown pa rin yung ating population, same formula to be used, no? And kapag 99% yung ating confidence level, the corresponding Z-score niya po ay 2.576. Okay? Its corresponding Z-score is 2.576. So ito ngayon yung gagamitin natin as Z-score. Okay? So again, if the given is confidence level, you need to get muna yung ating Z-score. So that will be same formula, 2.576 squared times P, our P standard deviation, 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5 over E squared, that is 0.03 squared over all over 1 plus 2.576 squared times 0.05 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5 over E squared times N. So 0.03 squared times N na 2050. Kapag na-input na po to sa calculator, it gives us a result of 971. Okay? And this is our sample size, no? If our confidence level is 99%. Okay, so what have you noticed from this, no? Same yung mga given data, but once na tumataas yung confidence level natin, dapat tumataas din yung number of sample size na meron tayo. Okay? So, from 90% confidence level, 553 lang. But, nung naging 95% yung ating confidence level, the sample size is 702. And also, nung naging 99% yung ating confidence level, the sample size will be 971. Okay, so again, this is for population, if our population is known. What if naman unknown yung population? Okay, so Compute for the sample size needed in a research given with, so n or sample population natin is unknown, margin of error is 5%, confidence level is 90%, and standard deviation is 50%. So again, before tayo mag-proceed, no, alamin muna natin ano yung corresponding Z-score ni 90% confidence level. So Z-score nito is 1.65. Okay? So, since our population is unknown, ang gagamitin na lang nating formula for this is Z squared times P times 1 minus P over E squared. Okay, ito na lang yung formula na gagamitin natin once the population is unknown. Then, substitute lang yung ating mga given. The Z squared will be 1.65 squared times our P standard deviation, which is 0.5, times 1 minus 0.5 over E squared. Our E is the margin of error, so that will be 0.05. 5% is equal to 0.05, then squared. Okay? Once we are going to input this on our calculator, it will give us a result of 272 sample. Okay? 272. Next. Again, same formula yung gagamitin natin kasi unknown pa rin siya. And same yung data except from our confidence level. And we know that 95% confidence level is equivalent to Z-score of 1.96. So, substitute lang natin on our formula, 1.96 squared times P, 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5 over E squared. E squared is 0.05 squared. And once we are going to input on our calculator, it will give us a result of 384. Okay, next is confidence level 99%. Ito lang yung naiba. So equivalency score niya is 2.576. So substitute on our formula, 2.576 squared times P 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5 over E squared, which is 0.05 squared. And it will give us a result of 664 sample size. Okay? So again, no, same observation yung makikita natin dito. Once na tumataas yung confidence level natin, dapat tumataas din yung ating confidence level. Or habang tumataas yung confidence level, dapat tumataas yung ating sample size na kinukuha from the population. Okay? So this is an example for the of getting sample size if the population is unknown. Okay, so that's all for our discussion for today. But before that, let's have this exit ticket. What is the best sampling techniques in research? So you can answer that question po. So again, that's all for our discussion for today. I hope this helps you, to understand well our topic. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.